What's up, everybody? I know that this is a little weird, but we couldn't get North Bay and Sacramento at the time of the original recording, so we had them come and do individual recordings after the fact, and so you're gonna see this all in one take, but this is a couple days after, so there have been some tournaments between the last panel of people and the interviews I'm doing today. So today we're actually going to be getting Azoth, who is part of BlinC Esports. I remember correctly, he's going to be representing the
Yes.
North Bay. How are you doing?
I'm doing great today. I'm really happy to be here and to be talking about a lot of the players in my sub-region.
Yeah. So give us an idea of what goes on up there, because I know that not a lot of people, especially the people that go to things like Guild House or East Bay stuff. You know, North Bay, first of all, is huge, and second of all, it's kind of it's far away. You know, you got to cross, I guess, a couple bridges to get to a lot of the tournaments up there. Yeah. Give us an idea of what's going on up there.
Yeah, the bridge thing is funny. I know my buddy who's coming out from Fairfield was talking about that he's got like $24 in bridge toll alone just to get to the Arcadian. But yeah, so the North Bay scene is definitely something that has popped up way more recently. It started pretty well. It was going on back before quarantine, mainly with a TO named Senor Soul hosting a lot of events in Santa Rosa. And then for a while after we came back, there wasn't much going on. And me and my buddy Dada started hosting an event called Cali Clash, and that's now going on both in Santa Rosa and San Rafael every week. And then we have the company BlinC, that a lot of you may know for sponsoring players like Sauganza, Amoganza, and Nazara, hosting their now bi-weekly event called Blink and You'll Miss It on Friday nights, as well as a monthly big pop bonus event in the same venue called Smash and Grapes. So we went from nothing in a couple of months to having multiple tournaments a week. I'm normally able to make it to like 2 a week, and then one in the city, which is close by. So definitely the scene has gotten a lot bigger, but it's still gone unnoticed by a lot of NorCal in general. So I hope that we will be able to get some good representation out there this weekend.
Awesome. Yeah, and as somebody that's had TO friends in the North Bay for quite a while, it's really nice to see things happening in the North Bay again. I know, I think specifically I'm talking about Big Mama or Ian of RPSville. I know for a long time he shouldered the weight of pretty much the entire North Bay tournament scene. But
Yeah,
I'm
I've heard it.
I'm glad that more people are stepping up to the plate, especially, you know, people that are younger, because time works that way, I think. Yeah, so I've talked a little bit about BlinC Esports in the past, especially on Guild House commentary when we saw Nazra make a run last week, and I'm sure I'm going to be talking about it more during the Arcadian. But let's focus on specifically players from the North Bay. Who are some players that you think that are going to the Arcadian that everyone should be looking out for?
Yes. I will start. I'll build up to my biggest predictions. Now, it feels weird to like talk about players in order because like they're all friends of mine. But the first player I want to talk about is this guy Fuego, or hashtag Fuego. He is currently number 7 on the North Bay PR. He is a Jigglypuff main with a lot of decent results, a lot of really consistent top 8s in the region, and at occasional SF tournaments. He's been a part of the scene for a while, and he practices in SoCal in the summers. I think he is going to have a really good run, definitely more so than he was seeded to have. And then after that, I think one of the biggest sleeper picks that will be making waves at the Arcadian this week is a player named Eddie with an exclamation mark. Currently,
Okay.
and I know seeding is, as a TO, it's so hard to do. He's currently seeded to go 0-2, but he was ranked number 5 on the North Bay PR, and he has I believe, not placed lower than like fourth at any tournament he's been to in North Bay. Don't check. That may be wrong. But he definitely hasn't missed a top 8. And he has wins definitely on Rodney Salt. So having PR wins and consistent high placings. He is a Fox and Steve main. I think primarily Fox now, but with the rise of Steve being so prevalent in the meta, I do think that's something that he has in the back pocket that's going to be ready to come out. After that is a player named Waji from way north, more north than Santa Rosa.
Interesting.
So
We actually covered him in the Santa Cruz video, I think. Does he go to UC Santa Cruz?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's I think he's in North Bay right now, but he is in Santa Cruz during the school year.
Okay. Yeah. No. Please. Sorry to interrupt you. Please. Talk about him.
Oh,
more.
No worries. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't super in tune with the Santa Cruz scene, so I didn't really know who he was. And then he came back for the summer and showed up at some of our tournaments, and we were blown away because he had outplaced Rodney Zalt. He had wins on Fletchling at the first tournament that I encountered him at, which is huge. Fletchling being number 2 on the North Bay PR. And then he had a decently close set with H3K and Grands at, I think, Cali Clash 6 or 7. And that came out of nowhere. I had seeded him to go like 1-2 or something because I just didn't know. And then he also, I believe, got 5th at Smash and Grapes, which was one of the larger North Bay events. I believe he plays Shulk. I've not seen any other character. But yeah, having those, I don't know if he's a win on Rodney Zalt, but I know he outplaced him at a couple of tournaments. So that, I think, is really huge. He's definitely someone to look out for, and someone that is very, very capable of making a deep run, especially with a character like Shulk that does not have a lot of bad matchups. That's something, which, I mean, matchups don't matter that much, but something definitely to look out for. And then I think by far the most notable player to talk about from North Bay for the Arcadian is Fletchling. Fletchling is someone who has become part of the scene more recently. I know she is seeded to go top 8, and definitely rightfully so. She has amazing results in North Bay and is currently number 2 on the North Bay PR, only behind a NorCal PR player, Rodney Zalt. She's got consistent top 3s at Cali Clash, Epicenter. She won Smash and Grapes over Rodney Zalt and H3K. I believe she currently has a winning record on H3K, and as of the most recent North Bay PR season, if I'm correct, has a winning record on Rodney Zalt as well. Wow. She's got, I know if you take all into account, I believe Rodney Zalt has more wins, but recently she's been beating him in bracket, and she's beat the last 2 or 3 tournaments that she's played him at. She's beat H3K. She also has consistent top 3s at a lot of T Sports, only having lost to, I believe, Rodney Zalt, Nazara, and potentially Era. I think she's going to make crazy waves at the Arcadian, and a lot of that is she's just like such an insanely good player. She plays really, really patient and is really good about using projectiles to control space. And she's a Robin main, which is something that I feel like a lot of people aren't super familiar with. So that matchup check just adds another layer of difficulty to having to go up against her in bracket. So that those are the main players that come to mind that I want to spotlight for the Arcadian this weekend. I don't know if he's still attending. We had a player named Amethyst who I believe initially signed up. This is an honorable mention, I guess, because I'm not sure if he actually has a ride or will be able to make it. but he was fourth on the North Bay PR. He recently got his first PR win over Rodney Zalt at BlinC and You'll Miss It number 3 this past Friday. Granted, it was Rodney Zalt's Roy and Robin, but he still double eliminated him. He's younger than me. I think he's 15. And wow. Yeah, is a Yoshi PT player. And he just plays like crazy good combos, crazy good off stage, really clean and disciplined neutral. And I think he's really just not able to travel a lot. So he's never been to an SF tournament, if I'm correct, or an East Bay tournament. He's only been able to like participate in local North Bay stuff. So I don't know if he will be able to make it to the Arcadian, but if he ends up being there, I highly, highly expect that Amethyst is going to do pretty good things. Especially as time, beyond this weekend progresses with him being so young and whatnot and having PR wins, I think that's huge.
Awesome. Yeah, okay, so I just turned off my camera just while you were talking so that I wouldn't be in your shot. I just realized that was like something I should have done for the previous video, but it's too late now. I'll do it next year. But yeah, thank you so much for all that insight, especially as somebody that's witnessed and watched all these players, TO'd a lot of these players over the past year. It's been 3 years since we've had an Arcadian, and there's been a lot going on in the scene, and so yeah, getting the insight for all of you guys, everyone representing their regions, and I think it's going to be an awesome event on Saturday. I'm a little biased because I'm helping run it, but yeah, I think it's going to be a good time. And yeah, thank you for representing South Bay, and shout out to BlinC Esports,
North Bay?
Obviously. I'm sorry, yeah, I said North Bay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. BlinC has been a new thing that came out of nowhere and has been doing a lot of work in NorCal. Definitely, I would expect both Fletchling and Nazara. I'm a little biased here because I'm also, of course, on Team BlinC, but to make really, really deep runs at the Arcadian this weekend. I'm really excited to watch this and be following the brackets and see who comes out on top.
Awesome. And before we go, do you have any shout outs?
Yeah. First, I'd love to shout out my buddy Dada. I could not run all the events that I do that made a lot of the North Bay scene without him. He's been a huge help, and he runs events over in Santa Rosa. You can find him on Twitter at Dada NorCal. Senor Soul, who's been a staple of the North Bay community for way before I was playing. I've only been playing and TOing for like a year, but he's been running events since like Smash 4 days, and he's been someone who's definitely a mentor and has showed me the ropes of running events and still does a couple here and there. You can find him on Twitter at Senor Soul _TO. I swear there's so many people that come to mind that I feel like later I'm going to be like, oh, I really wish I had had a chance to give them the spotlight here. But those are the main two that come immediately. Rodney Zalt has been a big part of making a lot of PR tournaments in the scene, as well as hosting Kelly Clash Skywalker. He's been great, and he's super friendly and a great person to be around. And I don't believe he has Twitter. Yeah, those are the main shout outs that come to mind.
Yeah, I think pretty famous.
Oh, shout out to James from BlinC.
Obviously,
the owner of BlinC, who has been putting a lot of money into the scene and trying to grow it and make North Bay a more prevalent force, as well as NorCal in general. Yeah, you can find him on Twitter at BlinC _esports, I think, or at team _BlinC, and he will be findable through those resources. Yeah.
Fun fact: he was my 666th follower on Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Just a funny little number, but
That is quite funny.
yeah. But okay, I think that's gonna do it for us. This may or may not be the last part of the video, or it might be the first part of the video. I haven't edited yet, but thank you.
That's true.
Actually, before we go, tell everyone who you are.
Oh, I passed my mind. I'm Azoth. I TO for North Bay, and I am a very, very mid-level player. You can find me on Twitter at Joaquin_Foster_ and on Instagram at Joaquin.Foster_. Or you can just search Azoth. I'm sure I'll come up. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm glad I could represent my subregion, and good luck to not only North Bay, but everyone who gets to take part in the Arcadian. I think it's going to be a really great event, and I'm looking forward to watching it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you yet again.
Yep.
So it turns out my geography skills are lacking, and I wasn't considering Vallejo or Vacaville North Bay. I don't know if Vallejo is still, but there are two more players I want to talk about as contenders for really good runs at the Arcadian. And first from Vacaville is an Olimar main named Riot, with wins on both Fletchling and Rodney Zalt. He has done amazing. The couple of times he's come to Epicenter, he got top 2, actually. And I expect that he is going to be someone that has a really big impact on the bracket and someone to look out for. Second from Vallejo, which might be East Bay, is Future Doctor. I think a lot of people know him. He plays Luigi and Pikachu, and he is amazing. He has had an incredibly deep run. I believe he got 3rd at Smash and Grapes and 3rd at a couple of Cali Clashes. In both of those, he had to DQ out of for personal reasons, so he could have gone even farther. He has, from my understanding, some pretty great wins in Frequent's Guildhouse, so I think those two players are definitely people that you should look out for tomorrow at the Arcadian.